What's up, my Essential Unit? It's Essential Man here, so back again with another classic WWE pay-per-view review. So this time, going back to the year of 1997, I'm going to review In Your House Cold Day in Hell at the Richmond Coliseum in Richmond, Virginia on the 11th of May, 1997. The attendance of the show was 14,381. In Your House Cold Day in Hell received about 143,000 pay-per-view buys. The commentators for the show are Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. So, what's happening in May of 1997 for the World Wrestling Federation? Not too much. The Hart Foundation added 2 more members to the group to grow up the pack. That is the loose cannon Brian Pillman and Brett's former tag team partner. That is Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Part of the original Hart Foundation in the 1980s. So nothing much, and also they almost got all the gold because Bulldog and Owen are the tag team champions. Bulldog is the European champion, and now they just added the Intercontinental title because Owen, a couple of weeks ago, Owen defeated Rocky Maivia for the belt. So yeah, it's all about the Hart Foundation, nothing much. Anyway, so before we get to the matches on the show, there is one match on the Go Home show to Raw. They kind of advertised to be on the show, but in reality, it's in the dark match. So the only dark match is this is for the tag team titles. You had Owen and Bulldog basically retain the tag team titles from the Legion of Doom rematch from Revenge of the Taker. They got themselves disqualified. I don't know. I checked on the Wikipedia page. It lasted about 5 minutes. Why? Why they did that? I don't know if they did a dark match, or maybe they film it because at the time Raw was a taped show. I'm not too sure. It's funny that they advertise the tag team title match on the show, but it's not on the main show. I simply don't get it. For the free-for-all, you had Rockabilly defeating Jesse James. Why are they feuding? Don't really end up like as a tag team, forming the tag team. One of the popular tag teams in pro wrestling history. That's the New Age Outlaws. That's later on in the year, so why? But I don't get it. So anyway, so if I missed out on another dark match, so it's not my problem. Yeah, back then they were doing dark matches. I wish they go back doing dark matches. And also, this show lasts about 1 hour 46, and 1 hour 46 minutes. Right now, today's pay-per-views in WWE, AEW, maybe Impact Wrestling, is about 2 to 3 hours. I don't think they'll go back to the hour 46 minutes. I don't know. It will never go back. Anyway, so the first match to kick off the show, we got Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the future Triple H, with Chyna in his corner, taking on Flash Funk. Flash Funk is Too Cold Scorpio, used to be in ECW. No build to this. This is a bonus match. No build. And this is funny to me. They show a footage on an episode of Shotgun Saturday Night. You had Helmsley really fighting Mankind. They're building up Chyna basically low blow Mankind, and that was it. I think they end up being up Mankind. I simply do not get it. Because at the time Helmsley was feuding with Goldust. I understand they can't really have once again having Helmsley fighting Goldust because we've already seen that match. But I think this was kind of starting the feud between Triple H and Mick Foley, Mankind, that bit throughout the summer and the autumn of 1997. This before Mankind's doing the whole Three Faces of Foley gimmick, added, debuting Doolittle and Cactus Jack to the World Wrestling Federation. So, anyway, the match was okay. Like I said, no build, and the crowd was silent. They did pop and react a little bit, but not so much, man. No one really gives a shit. Helmsley, I think he's not like DX Triple H or the jack up Triple H from late 90s and beyond. No, he was this rich Connecticut snob. It was just why? not why, but it's just kind of he's just kind of there, you know. Not he was kind of like you can say damaged goods at this moment in time, you know. Still recovering from when he was in the doghouse, you know, of the events of 1996, the previous year, with the whole curtain call incident, you know. Anyway, so in Flash Funk, let's be honest, I don't know how to describe Flash Funk, Two Core Scorpios gimmick in the Federation. It's a mixture of a PG version of The Godfather and Brodus Clay, the Funkasaurus. That's, you know, and also I think it was Jim Russell Lawler says that basically you know, basically he's what is it called, the Funk Cats. You know, I could tell it's like a proper like version, you know, the '90s version of Brodus Clay's Funkasaurus gimmick. That they said, well, the commentator says, you know, China's scared, you know, the Flash Funk's valet off. I don't understand why. You know, it's just what it is. So I'm trying to keep it short and simple. It was, like I said, an okay match, but China got involved. Like one more of the match, you had Helmsley holding the referee, and then you got China cheap shot Flash Funk. She did it twice. It really brought this quality of the match down. In the end, I think like Funk was going for like his moonsault. What's it called? The Flash. What's it called? The Flash. Was it Funky Energy Funk? I don't know what it is. Basically, it's a moonsault, but Triple H got out of the way. Hit the pedigree for the win. Yeah, it was predictable that Helmsley's getting the victory. And then afterwards, China. I felt like China is gonna like basically slamming Flash Funk. They're kind of building China up like she's this presence. You know, she's not that really that tall. You know, like I get she's almost they built her like she's almost 6 feet tall. She's about 5'10". You can look at her Wikipedia page. Her build height's 5'10". Because she's wearing like high boots, but you know, she looked muscular. Yeah, and she was tan. Yeah, she ended up like ditching the tan. In reality, she's pale, and she in the later years, before she was let go of the company, she kind of slimmed down a bit. Anyway, so in the end, China, after this match actually grabbed Flash Funk. I think kind of hit the atomic drop onto Funk onto the top rope. You know, off the ring, not the top corner on the turnbuckle, but on the top rope. So, anyway, so yeah, a month later, Helmsley went on to win the 1997 King of the Ring. You have to wait for my review of King of the Ring '97 next month. So, like, yeah, it was just an okay match, nothing special. And the next match is similar to the opener. You know, we got Mankind taking on Rocky Maivia. And also the funny that, you know, on the Go Home show to Raw that they announced that, oh, Mankind's facing his mysterious opponent. Nope, it's Rocky Maivia. Like, why could you just say, like, mysterious opponents? They just gave it out. Anyway, like I said before I reviewed the matches on the show, that Rocky Maivia lost the IC title match to Owen Hart on an episode of Raw. It was on the... I think it was, yeah, 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks prior. I think it was late April's episode of Raw. Might be wrong about it. My memory's a bit fuzzy. It's been a week ago? It's been a week ago or 2 weeks ago since I reviewed those Raws. Anyway, so the match sucked, and also I didn't say it in my review of not Cold Day in Hell, in my review of Revenge of the Taker, that you know, in that show, the fans were chanting, Rocky sucks, and die, Rocky, die. When I watched it, I'm going to say right now, I think they edited it off the network. Maybe it has to do with, because babyfaces don't deserve to be getting booed and getting shit on, and at the same time, maybe it has to do, like, the fans chanting, like, die, Rocky, die. I get it, it's pro wrestling, but wish upon death of a pro wrestler. It's not on, man. Come on, it's pro wrestling. It's scripted entertainment. You don't need to saying die, someone died. Come on, man. You know, Bart, Sideshow Bob saying die, Bart, die. But come on, die, Rocky, die. Come on, too far. Anyway, so yeah, the fans were booing the Rocky. You can tell that the fans really don't give two shit about Rocky Maivia. it's funny that if it was 98 or 1999, that could be a good feud. But this is the year 1997. There was no build. This is another bonus match like the opener. Because at this moment in time, like I said, Rocky Maivia is not getting over. He's getting shoved down people's throats. Not like his cousin Roman Reigns, you know. But, and also at the same time, Mick Foley, Mankind. His gimmick is getting stale. The whole deranged Mankind gimmick. This is before he was doing the whole Free Face of Foley storyline. That'll be later on in the year. Nothing special. No one gives a shit. I think the fans will they cheer a bit of Mankind a bit, but like I said, his character was getting stale, and also he was booked like a loser. What's the last time he won a pay-per-view match? You know, he lost, I think, a few pay-per-view matches. You know, he lost. I think he lost to the Undertaker at Survivor Series, to the tag team title match at WrestleMania 13 against Owen and Bulldog. That was a disqualification. And then at the previous month's pay-per-view, Revenge of the Taker, he lost the world title match to the Undertaker. So he's probably like a loser at this moment in time. Anyway, so in the end, Rocky Maivia, he was going for his crossbody, but Mankind countered it. He countered it into, I think he was going for a small package, but he countered into the mandible claw onto Rocky Maivia. Rocky Maivia, he's basically passed out to the hold, and Mankind got his win on pay-per-view for the first time in, I think, probably the In Your House show in October of the previous year. You know, buried alive match. You know, in the buried alive match to the Undertaker. He beat the Undertaker on that show, and after that he ended up losing matches on pay-per-view. So this was the beginning of the end of Rocky Maivia, the original version of Rocky Maivia when he debuted to the company at Survivor Series of the previous year in November. You know. It was too much too soon, you know, becoming the sole survivor in the Survivor Series match at Survivor Series 96 to winning the IC title and get the whole Rocky Socks Die Rocky Rock chance, or Die Rocky Rock, Die Rocky Die chance, I'm trying to say. Sorry, bit of a tongue twisting moment, my apologies. So he ended up, I think not too long, he injured his knee in the process, and then in August he came back, you know, to be part of the Nation Domination. And became not just, you know, he ended up becoming one of the most popular wrestlers in the 1990s, and also one of the most popular wrestlers, period, to this day. You know, it's funny that both Rock and Roman, you know, Dwayne and Roman, they end up like starting out getting this push, getting forced down people's throats, and then when they turn heel, they're doing their best work ever. You know, Roman, you know, with the Tribal Chief, Rock, be part of the Nation, and he became the corporate champion and people's champion, and right now he's doing well in Hollywood. So, like I said, like these two matches on the show, they're okay matches. I don't call them bad, but no one really gives a crap. The next match, this is technically the worst match of the show. We got Ahmed Johnson taking on 3 members of the Nation Domination. So this is kind of like the blow off of the rivalry between Farouk and the Nation and Ahmed Johnson. So the Raw before Revenge of the Taker, you know, Farouk really challenged Ahmed Johnson to a match, you know, a gauntlet match. You know, if Ahmed Johnson win, being all 3 members of the Nation of Domination end up be disbanded. So the stakes is high in this match. So before the start of this match, you had, at the time, on screen, WWF President Gorilla Monsoon basically kicking out the members of the Nation of Domination from ringside. Throughout the whole match, they were standing on the stage, and also Farouk was wearing the sling. We'll get to more of that shortly. So anyway, the match was shit. No one gives a fuck, you know. Farouk defeated the first Nation Johnson fought was Crush. He was going for his typical hot punch, but I think he hit the an Izagiri kick for the win. He wins the first fall. Then the second person compete in the gauntlet match, represent the Nation, was Savio Vega. Johnson defeated him. I think he hit him with a Pure River Plunge. I'm not too sure. I think he did hit the move. I think he did it twice on Farouk and Savio Vega. So anyway, Johnson pinned Savio Vega, and then the final member to represent of the nation facing Ahmed Johnson was the leader Farouk. He was wearing a sling. The announcers brought that he suffered a separated shoulder, but instead it was a rouge, and he fought. Johnson hit the he hit the pure river plunge onto Johnson. Farouk. Sorry, my apologies. I'm speaking too fast, by the way. So anyway, Johnson hit the pure river plunge onto Farouk, the leader of the nation, but he kicked out. In the end, Farouk managed to hit his finisher onto Johnson. I think it was a face planter or some type of move onto Johnson to win this match. So the nation survived. I thought this was the end of the nation, or of the first nation. I thought Johnson win, the nation was gone. But instead, the nation survived, and this was the end of the first nation of the domination. With Savio Vega and Crush and Wolfie D and JC Ice and Clarence Mason. They end up gone with the company, and also Savio Vega and Crush went on to get kicked out of the First Nation, and then Farouk formed the Second Nation. People more talk about the Second Nation of domination, added members D.L. Brown was part of the First Nation. They ended up bringing Kama Mustafa, the future Godfather, The Rock. And then in the following year, in 1998, they ended up adding both Owen Hart and Mark Henry. And this was the beginning of the faction warfare in the WWF that expired what AEW is doing right now. Because you have the Hart Foundation, the Nation Domination, and then later on in the year, they added the Truth Commissions. That's formed, and also D-Generation X. And then Savio will form his faction called the Los Boricuas, and Crush forms the Cycle of the Apocalypse, this motorcycle group. That was expired what Aces and Eights were going to be in a decade and a half later. Sorry, I'm stumbling, by the way. So drink, man, my throat's a bit dry. And also Johnson ended up joining the Second Nation. So it's typical, if you can't beat them, join them type of thing. So that's another topic for another time. So moving on to, that was match number 3. So match number 4. This is a no-holds-barred match. We got the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, taking on Vader. This is all about a confrontation a couple weeks ago on Raw. The hyping up he's the most dangerous man. He competed in UFC. Earlier there was a segment with Vader and Mankind beating down Ken Shamrock. You're not gonna see Mankind. Mankind did not help Vader win this match. He compete in his match with Rocky Maivia. So this whole no holds barred match. I seen other people's reviews on this show, and people giving it 3.5 stars. Are you kidding me? I don't think it's a good match. I'm not saying it's a terrible match, but it was okay. I think they did try to make it into a new, unique match, but unfortunately, it didn't pan out that well. The rules of this no holds barred match, not the no holds barred match you see in today's wrestling with a no DQ match, with weapons and fighting outside the ring. No. It's basically, there's no pinfall. You have to win by submission, and technical knockout, and also you can still get counted out. They did try. Vader was out of his depth because it has to do with Shamrock, being this. Because at the time, because the UFC was not popular back then compared right now, it's a juggernaut. It was 4 or 5 years old at the time. It was not that big at the time. It's like giving it some exposure to MMA. Like I said, it's not really that popular at the time. I'm sounding like a broken record. It's true. Vader was handcuffed and crippled. Not completely crippled, but kind of he was, like I said, out of his depth. He did throw some punches against Shamrock in this match, but he was out of his depth, man. I think one more of the match, Shamrock locked. I think he slightly locked Vader with the Kimura lock, Vader hit I think he trying to hit the moonsault, but Shamrock got out of the way. It was a bit boring. In the end, Shamrock locked in the ankle lock onto Vader and made Vader tap out. I understand why people praise it because people like these type of style matches, but it doesn't really work in my opinion in pro wrestling because why do you think the fall brawl failed? Because people don't want to see a shoot fight in pro wrestling. They just want to see the scripted entertainment. So it was more to get Ken Shamrock over. I'm not really putting Ken Shamrock down, but my theory that this is a way to punish Vader because at this moment in time, because WWF was touring in Kuwait, Vader got involved in an altercation. You can find it on YouTube, by the way. He was in this interview with him and The Undertaker promoting their tour in Kuwait. And the interviewer said to Vader, is pro wrestling fake? Instead of it's not similar to when, was it David Schultz situation from in the 80s? No. He kind of rustled up the interviewer and he was in jail for a couple of days before coming back. You can tell it's a way to punish Vader. He's not completely buried because he ended up facing The Undertaker for the world title at I think it was at Canadian Stampede later on in the year, so he's not really officially buried. But this is a way to punish Vader, It's a shame he never he should become a main event at this moment in time. I understand why they never give Vader a proper push because he came from WCW. He was a former WCW World Champion, so they should have done more better with Vader. So yeah, it's a way to point over Shamrock. It's a shame. I think Shamrock should be in the Hall of Fame one day because in the WWE Hall of Fame, you never get any credit. He revolutionized the tapping out. Making people tapping out. But before Ken Shamrock arrived to the company, if someone locked in a submission hold, you got the referee saying, "Do you submit?" and they shout, "I submit," or some shit like that. When Shamrock, came, he's revolutionized the ankle lock. He's the first wrestler to lock in the ankle lock and make people actually tapping out. And then to this day, in not just in WWE, in other wrestling companies, if someone lock you in the submission hold, you better tap out. So, hope Shamrock is in the WWE Hall of Fame. He should be in the WWE Hall of Fame for revolutionized making people tapping out. The one dream match sadly we're not going to see is Ken Shamrock versus Kurt Angle. That'll be a good match. Who is the master of the ankle lock, or who is the master of making people submitting, tapping out. So yeah, the match it was okay, but I don't think it's a great match. It was just boring in my opinion. Anyway, so moving on to the main event. This is for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. The Undertaker defending the belt against Stone Cold Steve Austin. So the build to this, there is no build to this between Taker and Austin. There's more between Austin and the Hart Foundation. I feel like the second and the last Raw before this show, yeah, they had this moments like Austin had Taker with the Stone Cold Stunner, and Taker chokeslam Austin. But besides that, there's no build to this. It's more between Austin and the Hart Foundation. That's it. I feel like the Undertaker was basically the third wheel of this rivalry going into the pay-per-view. That's just it. That was it. Anyway, you got the members of the Hart Foundation sitting in the crowd. Brett, the leader, Owen, the technical wrestler, Bulldog, the muscle, Pillman, the loose cannon, and Neidhart, the tag team wrestler. Sitting on the crowd. They did get involved a bit. You had Austin attack Owen and Taker cheap shot Bulldog in the crowd. But this was a good match. The one thing, I don't get it in Undertaker Austin's matches throughout the years. Like I said, similar to Rock and Mankind's match from earlier. If it was 98-99, that would be the best feud, probably the best feud of the year. But since it's 1997, Austin was getting popular, but he's not that popular. I think Taker was more popular than Austin because Taker is the in-ring veteran alongside Brett. Austin was still a newbie. Yeah, he's been in the company for 1 year, but he's not quite there yet. He was still a mid-card. The one thing I don't get, because every time Austin, he kind of going for the leg of the Undertaker, because Austin doesn't have a leg submission hold. Yeah, he has that submission hold, the $1 Million Dream, when he was the ringmaster, but he was before Austin was the brawler, he was kind of like the technical wrestling guy. I get it, but some moments of the match, you had Undertaker lot of working on the leg of Austin. So because at the time Undertaker didn't have a submission hold. This is before you end up doing the Hell's Gate. That'll be a decade later. But yeah, I don't get it. But they didn't really go. They did go involved a bit. You know, Austin hit the Stone Cold Stunner onto the Undertaker, and then you got Brian Pillman ringing the bell. I don't think Austin cheap shot Pillman. I don't know. I don't think he did. You know, try to keep it short and simple. You know, they had moments like I think Austin suplexed the Undertaker off the top rope. In the end, Austin was trying to hit Taker with the Tombstone Power Driver, but Taker countered, hits his Tombstone Power Driver for the win. I think it was the only time that Taker hit the Tombstone Power Driver in Austin. I think they did it, for a win, but I think after that, in my knowledge, I don't think he did it in the 1998 match at SummerSlam the following year. You know, because it's funny that Taker hit the Tombstone Power Driver. It's funny that months later, Owen hit the Power Driver, and that led to Austin injured the neck. Anyway, so after this match, you had Pillman, Owen, Bulldog, and Neidhart, attacking the Undertaker. But Austin, came to the rescue. He basically pushed Brett off it because he's on a wheelchair because he suffered a knee injury. Pushed Brett off his wheelchair, grabbed one of his crutch, and I think he hit one of the members of the Hart Foundation with the crutch. Austin and Taker, clearing house, and then Austin hit Taker with the Stone Cold Stunner to basically send the fans home happier. But yeah, it was just more furthering up the rivalry between Austin and the Hart Foundation, and the reason why they attacked the Undertaker is just to make sure maybe it's not with with the Austin and Shawn Michaels and a little bit with the LOD. It's just basically just the Hart family versus the WWF. So yeah, it was a good match. I think it's the second or third best match of their feud in 97, 98, and 99. Of the overall feud between Austin and The Undertaker. Like I said, Austin should never be in this situation because he was too soon to put. It's too soon to put the belt on Austin yet because it's funny, he ended up winning his first title in the company later on in the year. He won't win his first world title until the following year in 98 at WrestleMania 14. So it was too soon. It was giving Austin some exposure. Like I say, he's not quite over yet, but he's on the same direction. So yeah. So anyway, so my final rating for In Your House, Cold Day in Hell, 4 out of 10. Oh, actually, I'm gonna give 5.5 out of 10. No, I'll give it 4 out of 10. This is a weaker show than Revenge of the Taker. This is technically a one-match show. That is just, Taker and Austin for the WWF title. But besides that, nothing. The only match in the bad for me has to be the Ahmed Johnson versus the Nation in a gauntlet match. But besides that, some of these matches are okay, just okay. I'm not gonna put the Shamrock Invader match in the back. It wasn't that bad of a match. It was okay, but the whole MMA shoot fight stuff didn't really work well for me. That's my opinion. But it's an okay show, not a good one like the opener, Triple H and Flash Funk. And then you got Rocky Maivia and Mankind. Like I said, if it was 98, 99, that'd be a good feud. But because at this time they were still doing that old gimmicks. Mankind's not the comedy Mankind, he's the deranged Mankind. And yeah, that was also in the OK. And also I put Shamrock Invader in the OK. Just a typical one-match show. And also the crowd did not give a fuck about this show, or the undercut of the show. Like I said, they will look bored. Some of these May shows in WWF/WWE, they turn out to be a hit or a miss. So anyway, so I hope you enjoy my review of In Your House, Cold Day in Hell. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash that like button, click the like, click the bell, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube, be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. Next time, so like I said, last week, before I reviewed Cold Day in Hell, I reviewed Judgment Day 2002. That was the first pay-per-view under the WWE banner. And that was Batista's first pay-per-view appearance, as the Deacon Batista, part of, he was with Devon, he was doing the Reverend gimmick. So Let's travel 8 years into the future to review Batista's last match of his first run in the company, when he faced the face of the WWE, the WWE Champion John Cena, in an I Quit match. So I'm talking about the first Over the Limit pay-per-view from the year 2010. So this is the Century Man officially signing out, and that's my review of In Your House, Cold Day in Hell. This was a okay of a pay-per-view.